Episode 48 has been added to the test server. Let's take a look. Hello, heroes and villains. Welcome to Multiverse. As some of you guys were asking, when will we get the next episode? So the episode has been added to the test server. Normally, when something gets added to the test server, roughly 2 weeks later, it gets added to the live server. So maybe if all goes well, we will get the episode on the live server in about 2 weeks. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see for that. And if you were wondering why they gave us the red tool style in a time capsule some time ago, we can see why. Basically, they were planning to add the red tool to this DLC. So red tool is one of the few new characters that is added to this universe online with this DLC. And here we have the evil penguin, who's the vendor for this DLC. So the new style that will be added to the game will be the Bully Buster. Sadly, there seems to be only one new style with this DLC for some reason. Here you can see it's pretty much a sort of Harley Quinn style mushed with sort of Big Barda. Or a Harley Quinn style that is made to look more like as if it came from Apokolips somehow. From what I understand, that is pretty much the crux of the story. Harley Quinn goes to Apokolips to get some sort of upgrade on her costume. And this is what the costume looks like on the male character. I will probably make a video specifically about this style somewhat later, once I get the enhanced version of the style, or the elite version of the style. Sadly, in order to be able to purchase the elite version of the style, I will have to play the elite content, and it's not something I want to do in the test server. I'll do that on the live server once the game gets added to the live server. So if you want to be able to get the elite version of the style, you have no choice. You will have to play the elite content in order to be able to get the elite gear. And usually we get 2 stars when we get a new DLC, but somehow with this DLC, they still give us the Aberrant Hunter. I'm hoping this is just a placeholder until we actually do get a style, but I never did show you what the Aberrant style actually looks like. It is one of the styles we got with the Brainiac Returns DLC, and it is the look of the evil mutants that we do fight in that DLC. So why do they still give us this style with this DLC? Again, I'm hoping that this is just a placeholder, and I'm hoping that they will replace it with another style later on. Sadly, at this point, we don't have any information about that, so we're gonna have to wait and see for that. I wish we could have the slimline without the mutant bits, maybe someday. And of course, with this new DLC, we are going to get some new augments. I feel like a bit of a foolish fool because I'm not even done upgrading the augments from the Brainiac Return DLC. So I guess once we do get this DLC, I will have 2 sets of augments that I will need to upgrade still. So once we do get this new DLC, I guess you're going to be able to look forward to getting some new augments that you will have to upgrade. The DLC does not seem to have been added to the on-duty menu just yet. It's not a problem. I guess it's something they will add a bit later. So we have no choice. We have to go into a custom play, and they've added a tier 7 tab. So basically this is going to be the first DLC of that tier 7. And there is going to be 1 solo mission, 1 alert, and sadly only 1 raid. But there will be a regular version and an elite version for all those missions. So we will get an elite version of the raid. So if you don't like playing with a group to try to get to the elite renown, you will be able to do that by yourself with the elite solo mission. And now let's go around a little bit and take a look at the open world map. So basically we are in the docks of Gotham City, but it is a Gotham City that is slowly being invaded by the evil forces of Apokolips, and you can see that the map is pretty much being terraformed into a version of Apokolips. And here of course we have the Omega symbol with the evil dark side. That was to be expected. I can't wait to come here and take a screenshot or 3 with my evil dark side character. So if you have a New Genesis or a better yet Apocalypse themed character, you'll probably do the happy dance once you reach this area. I'll give you an opportunity to get some great screenshots or even some videos with your Apocalypse character in a sort of Apocalypse setting. I wish they actually gave us Apocalypse. Not sure why they couldn't do that, like just give us Apocalypse as opposed to a Gotham version of Apocalypse. And here you can see the big terraforming machine that is slowly turning Gotham into Apocalypse. But again, I wish they had given us an actual Apocalypse map. Oh well, what can you do? So you can see the machine again. The map seems to be pretty much the same size as pretty much the open worlds we've been getting for some time. So it's not a huge map, but usually the maps are big enough. Although in the first few days, the first few weeks, you may have to compete with other players for certain objectives, and you may have to compete with other players to get the collections. The collections in the open world will give you some base items, and there's also some briefings that you will have to gather that will also give you some base items. Some of them will give you also some components for your mods, your augments. But usually, yeah, either you're gonna have to look forward to some components for your mods, or some base items. We'll take a look at the base items in just a minute. The collections aren't that difficult to get. It's just a matter of taking the time to farm and farm and farm to get those collections. But I was able to get all three. There's three sets of collections in this open world, and I was able to get all three sets quickly enough. Like I didn't have to farm for like 3 days. I remember way back when we got the Mr. Miracle cape. If you were not lucky, you could have to farm and farm for the rare collection for like 3 days a week. Here that wasn't the case. I was able to get those collections quickly enough. So this was our tour of the open world map. Now let us go see our friend Cheetah, and let's take a look at some base items. So there are some new base items that will be available with this new DLC. So if we take a quick look at the Cheetah vendor.
All the latest styles.
So you will be able to purchase those base items from the Cheetah vendor. Although there are some base items that you may have to unlock either by getting the collections first or by getting the briefings. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So there will be some new base items added to the game. You probably don't have to buy them from our friend Cheetah. They will probably drop as random drops playing the various submissions. But if somehow you don't get the base items you want, you will be able to purchase them from our friend Cheetah. And here we'll take a look at the base items we can get. For the Oracle bot, obviously it's not coming from this DLC. It is one of the new rewards we got with the previous DLC. But she's so awesome, I just left her in my lair because why not? For the console, basically I was able to get two of them. One of them actually comes from completing a briefing, and I had purchased one from Cheetah before. There's some frames that you will see a bit later. Somehow I didn't notice that we had some frames that we could put on the wall. So we have a few seed pods over here. But most of the base items we got were some barrels. I guess somehow barrels were in fashion this season, because we did get a whole bunch of those. I hoped we would get more Apocalypse looking base items with some cool lava effects, but at least we have a really nice console with the Omega emblem of the evil dark side. So you can see there's a couple of frames also we can get for the wall. Not too crazy about those frames, but maybe some of you guys will like them. It doesn't really matter. So this is pretty much the base items we have access to right now. I have to remind you guys, we are on the test server, so it's quite possible that in 2 weeks they add some extra stuff to this DLC. It could be they add some extra base items. We're gonna have to wait and see for that. That's one of the reasons why I don't like to do videos on the test server, because very often, by the time the video is released, sometimes they add something to the test server, and the video is pretty much obsolete. But I thought we could at the very least take a quick look at the DLC, at the base items, and at the style. I will probably make a video about the solo elite mission. I'll do that probably later today or tomorrow. But for something like the elite version of the new style, it is something that I will do on the live server because I will probably need to farm the solo elite mission in order to be able to get the style. And it's not something I'm willing to do on the test server. It's something that I will do on the live server. So I will probably make one, maybe two more videos on the test server. But for some of the content, I will wait for the content to be on the live server before I make video about it. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see.